Greetings, Authorpreneurs. It's episode 119 of the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Ruth Taylor, and this is a show that gives you the roadmap to take charge of your publishing with stories and strategies to dominate authorpreneurship or author entrepreneurship, if that word is unfamiliar to you. In today's podcast, there will be no interviews, but I'll be talking about some of the changes at Amazon, because most of us in the Caribbean, and I believe the majority of independent publishers and authors around the world, we publish our books on Amazon through their Kindle Direct Publishing platform, or KDP for short. And in the last couple of months, during my break, shortly before the break, and up to this week, which is the first week in October, KDP has been making major changes. And it's nothing to panic about. And so on this episode, I want to talk about some of those changes and also point you to some tools and resources and some persons out there that can help you to navigate these changes. So that's what we're going to address on this episode. So stay tuned.
Caribbean Jamaica Limited is pleased to be associated with Ruth Taylor, and as part sponsor of your podcast, we want to congratulate you on the launch of your podcast. Certainly, the power of a good example cannot be underestimated. And what we believe you will do through this new podcast will be very valuable, not just for Jamaicans and for Caribbean people, but people all over the world. Certainly the work you're doing through Extra Mile Innovators, as well as through your work as an authorpreneur, is an excellent thing. And so we're pleased to be associated with this as a company and wish you all the best and every success for what you're seeking to accomplish through your podcast. Again, congratulations to you from Frame Art Jamaica Limited.
So before I get into those changes, just a quick update on my own authorpreneur journey. In my Indie Authorpreneurs Facebook group, from the inception, about a month after, we started an idea to book in 30 days challenge to help persons write their books in 30 days, because on average, when I worked it out, that's how fast I was going. Unknown to me at that time is that every November is NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. And so this coincided beautifully with that effort by the Americans and others around the world to write a novel of 50,000 words in a month. Now, the Rocket Writing Challenge is a little different, and my nickname is the Rocket Writer because I went on a challenge to write 20 manuscripts in a year, and it started with this challenge in November 2018. And so I normally use October to prepare the members of the group for the challenge. It is to write a small nonfiction book between 10,000 and 30,000 words in 30 days. That's just a small manuscript, and that can be your memoir. It can be a book about your expertise that you will use in a coaching program, a teaching program, or as a marketing tool for your business. It could also be a children's book, but this is primarily nonfiction books. And so from November 2018, I've been doing this, and there will be prizes and surprises. We'll be doing writing sprints. And then from the 23rd of October, if you're on my email list, you're going to get the writing preps, which are kind of like email lessons. It's like an email course in writing a nonfiction book and what you should do. And then in the group now, each day in November, we're going to ask you to post your word count. We're going to cheer each other along. And then the winner, you will get a free structural editing from me, because this is the first draft. You know, after you write the first draft, you need to revise it and to refine it, and then proceed with the rest of the publishing process. And so that structural edit is to analyze your writing. Is it cohesive? Were the chapters flowing? Are there things that you need to add to strengthen it, or things that you need to take away? So the winner, the first person to type finished by November 30, 11:59, they will get that. In addition, you get a 1-hour consultation with me to just talk through the whole process of publishing and what you plan to do with the book, because utility of books is what it's all about. We want you to leverage your book to create multiple income streams and to further your impact, you know, to reach more people, because books open doors, right? So that's part of the package in terms of the price. That's valued at, you're looking at, if you were to write a 30,000 word book, you're looking at the value of over $400 in prizes. And then when you've published that book, you will be interviewed on the podcast, so you get more exposure. Now, this is just a little incentive. And then all persons who finish, including the winner, will get the rocket writing certificate. And each year, we've had persons writing and publishing books out of this challenge. So I want to encourage you to join. I'm going to put the links in the show notes. It's in the Authorpreneurs group, and our group caters primarily to persons in the Caribbean and its diaspora. So if you are of Caribbean descent and living anywhere in the world, you can join, because sometimes the challenges we face in the Caribbean in trying to publish internationally is a little different. Let me give you an example of that, is that many of us cannot get paid directly from Amazon. We have to go through third parties or have an account in the US or Canada, and we have to have different workarounds, you know? And so this podcast and that group helps to deal with our unique challenges. And the challenge, the annual Rocket Writing Challenge, is free. And so you don't have to pay to see me personally for me to give you those rocket writing sessions. I do have rocket writing boot camps. I do have a guided writing program where you can get a book out without actually writing it. And that's a more expensive program. And as time goes by, you're going to hear more about it. And so that's the latest in terms of my authorpreneurship venture. And it's an authorpreneurship venture because it's built on a book. It's a book-based initiative. The book, The Rocket Writer, is there to help you to be able to write your book in 24 hours, literally, or within 30 days. And that book is free. It's on Amazon, it's on Barnes & Noble. It was published wide through Draft to Digital, so it's on Kobo, it's on other platforms, and it is free. There is also an audiobook that is free. So if you don't want to read the book, you can listen to it. And I'm going to put the links to that in the show notes. Or you can just go to authorpreneursecrets.com and you can sign up to get the Rocket Writer for free, or Extra Mile, extramileja.com. That's my own author website, and you can go there. It's the first thing on the page, and you can download it, get on the mailing list, and you'll continue to get updates from me to help you on your writing journey. So yes, that's what's happening in terms of my personal authorpreneur journey and how I am using my books beyond book sales. All right, let's get into some of the KDP changes. All right, so we know about the changes taking place in June. There were price increases, and so the cost of printing books increased, and I had addressed that in one of our publishing episodes. All right, and in recent times now, because of the development of AI, when you go to upload your book, whether that is the ebook or the print book, Amazon is going to ask you if you used AI generated content. And you need to tick the boxes, and you can't proceed to publish without checking those boxes. There's also another box that is there that talks about, does your book have sexually explicit content? And you need to tick that box, yes or no, to go forward. There were some changes too with low content books and no content books, and you had to tick that. So in your KDP dashboard, there are a number of changes that you need to be aware of. No, low content books are like, the coloring books, books that hardly have text. It may be journals and things like that. And so Amazon is trying to regulate that. As it relates to the AI aspect, this is maybe just about a month or so that these changes have come about, very, very recent. And so when it says AI generated content, so if you use Midjourney or any of those tools or ChatGPT to help you to write your book, as in you give it the topic and it writes it, then that's AI generated. If you use like ChatGPT to edit and proofread your book, that is not AI generated. If you use ChatGPT to research ideas and then you go and write your book from that, that is not AI generated content. And so you have to know the distinctions. Keith Wheeler did a pretty amazing job explaining the difference between AI generated and AI assisted content. And so I want to refer you to the two videos that he did, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes. That's Keith Wheeler Books on YouTube, Amazon KDP New AI Guidelines Explained. He did a pretty fabulous job on it. And just about anybody who is into self-publishing would have done some teaching on it to break it down. Joanna Penn also did an excellent job explaining the concept. And she's been talking about AI for years. And so she's always ahead of the game. And many authors, they're in a panic. Is Amazon going to take away our books and that kind of thing? And I just feel there's nothing really to worry about. And you just need to be honest. If it is AI generated or AI assisted, I feel Amazon is gathering its own data for its own uses. We all use AI content in some shape or form. For example, if you've been using ProWriting Aid or Grammarly to assist with your editing, those are AI tools. And so it is not as far-fetched as you think. And sooner or later, AI is going to be in everything. I am typing a post on Facebook or even in fixing up my website, and you will see, type with AI or use AI to assist. And I am not anti-AI. Of course, things need to be regulated. So you want to keep a watch on the space. I particularly love using ChatGPT for editing purposes, for idea generation. I'm sure I'm not using it to the fullest, but it has been helping me. It's now like my Google search. It's a faster way to get some information. I don't use it to write my books. I have used it to help with copy in terms of book descriptions, to help me in that. And then I refine it. So that's one of the changes that's been happening there. So you have the AI part, you have where they have to tick if it's low content, no content, books, if it is sexually explicit content or not. And just this week, there was another big change on Amazon that I think is for our benefit. It is in our favor. And it's not, I think, being rolled out to everyone. but I'm going to read what it says. Now, you can set up pre-orders on Amazon for your ebooks. So you can set a date ahead in time when you want the ebook to come out. And you don't even have to upload the ebook immediately, as in the manuscript content. You just need to cover the description, the pricing, and people can start buying. You can do that for up to a year. Now, you can't do that for print books. And what Amazon has done or just rolled out this week, and this email came on the 3rd of October, 2023, and this podcast episode is going out on Monday, the 9th of October, is that they said they're excited to announce starting today that you have the option to decide when your book detail page comes out for your KDP paperback and hardcover books. So when creating a new print book, you see an option to release your book now or schedule a release date. This is not a pre-order, but what it does is that you can determine when you want your paperback book to be released, and you can set that release date ahead of time, 5 to 90 days in the future, for your book to go live on Amazon. And here is the big bonus part. While this is happening, once you've uploaded your content, the final content of the book, then you can request order copies. And so this is different from the pre-order thing where you don't have to have the book ready. If you're going to do this for paperback, my understanding based on the email is that you need to have your paperback ready to be published. It's just that you are postponing the release date, and you can get your author copies, which is good. So it's almost as if, sometimes you want to have books before. I wish sometimes Amazon worked like Lulu, in a sense that you could use Lulu just for printing, and you don't have to publish the book to be able to order author copies of your book, which you get on discount, which is a different price from the sales price. And so you could have those books, and you could do whatever promotions and different things and control the time when it comes out. So I really believe this is a plus for authors. So you gain control over the timing. You decide when the Amazon detail page goes live to readers, and you can focus on your marketing. So this is not pre-order. So persons won't be able to buy it, but you as the author can order author copies before the book goes live. Whereas before, the book had to go live to be published before you could order those author copies. Now you can order and print before. And so that can help you a bit more with your planning. And I think this is good. So don't confuse it with pre-order. You actually have to set up your print title and upload the details of the book before it goes live. And then for the regular pre-order, just remember that you cannot cancel. When you set up a pre-order for the ebook, you can't cancel it without any penalties, and you should upload your book at least 72 hours before. I normally tell my authors, do it 4 days before the actual date that you set to avoid penalties, because readers would have been expecting the book at a certain date. And so, like any business, there's always a need for change. And Amazon is always doing changes. And so one of the things I want to do with this show is to keep you abreast of the changes as much as possible in the publishing industry, and to be that voice, that Caribbean voice, that helps you to know what is going on and empower you to win. All right. So I trust that you found this episode useful, and that you will do some more research and not be frightened by the changes that are taking place on Amazon. And yeah, that's a wrap. I want to remind you from a verse in Ecclesiastes 12 by King Solomon, considered to be the wisest king who ever lived. Of the making of many books, there is no end. So I encourage you to go pen it to win it and dominate authorpreneurship. Ta for now. Until next time.